pizza, we're going to do a cold salad on top of a hot crust that we just took out of the oven. All right, so we're going to start off with some mixed greens that we've chopped up. Here we have about a cup of mixed greens. Any lettuce you like will be fine, romaine, but this looks good today, so I'm just going to put that in there. We've already washed it. Great. All right, so want to talk about the olives?
All right, yeah. So next we're going to add the olives. Just dump them out. Just run your knife through them. Don't need to cut them up too small. We're using a Mediterranean mix. We have green olives and Kalamata olives, and they're super flavorful. They're nice and salty, so they're just a really good addition to the salad. And you can use any olives that you want, black olives, whatever, but just make sure that they're pitted, because it makes it a lot easier when you're cutting.
Yeah.
Like there's some pits in here, and it's a little difficult.
Another thing I really like about the olives, like the basil and the last one, the olives are going to add a really, really fresh flavor to this one as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be really nice. And the colors are really nice too.
Yeah, they have a lot of color.
And like the best thing about making pizza is that when someone thinks about pizza, they think it's a really, really difficult thing to make. But this crust is pre-made. As Carolyn said before, it's $2.50 for 2 crusts. I mean, you can put basically whatever you want on it, and it's just so much fun if you're having a movie night with friends or something like that to make. It takes 8 minutes. I mean, that is the time, if you're calling for pizza, that is the time it will come in. So it's better to do this way too. That's looking really good.
Yeah, now we're going to add some feta cheese. We're going to measure out about 3/4 cup of feta cheese. It's got a really bold, strong flavor. It's kind of salty. And the reason we're not putting it on while the pizza's in the oven, because we don't really want to get it hot. We like it at pretty much room temperature because the flavor is a lot stronger then.
Yeah.
So
the texture's also really nice at room temperature too. I mean, the mozzarella, that's what's also good about this is that on one pizza you have this really nice melted mozzarella cheese, and on this one the feta is like really, really fresh and kind of like a hard, like smooth flavor. All right, so next up we're going to add the tomatoes. Now, on the ingredients and the directions, I'm not going to tell you what kind of tomatoes to make. Whenever me and my mom are shopping in the supermarket, she always says to me, I like a good tomato. Well, obviously you like a good tomato and not a bad tomato. But I think what she's trying to say there is that you want to use the kind of tomato that's best for you. These plum tomatoes looked really, really beautiful when I went shopping yesterday, so I got them. If you see some really nice heirloom tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, whatever you want to use, just pick 1 big tomato or 2 small, as I've done here. So we're just going to chop this up. And what's really, really nice about the tomato in this is that in the other one we've used the sun-dried tomato, which is so sweet, and it was marinating in those flavors, and it was just absolutely delicious. But this tomato, just like the olives, offers something really, really fresh. And it really makes this pizza more of like a salad on bread, I guess you could say. And it's like really fun to make. And again, you can just do any variation of a salad or anything that you want to do with this pizza. It'll be really delicious. So we're just going to kind of chop everything up, roughly chop it however you want, however small you want to make it. It's going to be really good.
so pretty.
I know, and the colors in this are really, really colorful too. That's like something that I always think about when I'm trying to cook, like make up recipes and things like that, are the colors, because I know I do this. I eat with my eyes first, and I think a lot of people do that. So, you know, if you're hanging out with some people and like you brought this pizza to someone's house for a house party or something like that, people would just see it and think that you spent hours on it when really you spent 8 minutes on it, or maybe a little bit more, depending. So
depending on how long it takes you.
Yeah, depending on how long it takes you to make it. If you're a pro at cooking or not. Well, you don't have to be a pro to make this super easy. Okay, so we've got this tomato. Thanks, Caroline. It's really flesh. And the juices of the tomato are also going to be really, really great at creating this texture, this mixture. So we're actually just going to mix this up. T, if you could just pass me that rest of that pizza over there.
All right.
Oh my gosh, this looks so good. We're just going to mix this up. This is like, I don't know if you can just look at this. This is so beautiful.
Delicious.
And it's just a Greek salad. I mean, it's so easy. It's what you would get. It's a typical Greek salad like you would get in a restaurant, and it's filled with this beautiful feta cheese, and you're just going to dump it on your pizza. How good does that look? It's literally just a salad on your pizza. Now, a tip that I have is I used 1 cup of lettuce before. You don't really want to go over that. You don't want to make it an entire like mound of a salad. That'll make it really, really difficult to cut. Yeah, but I think this is the perfect amount. You can just spread it right over. And just like the other pizza, we're just going to add some olive oil to make it like really nice and fresh. I guess a salad dressing, you could call it. Some Colavita olive oil, my favorite. And yeah, Tia has some balsamic. Perfect. That's like every time I go to a Greek restaurant, I always like let's get balsamic. So I'm just gonna cut this up again. All right. Okay. Here's for Tia.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. Here you go.
It's so good.
Thank you.
You can add salt and pepper to it, but it really has enough flavor and salt as it is. So
I agree.
Yeah. And those tomatoes. Excuse me, everyone watching on TV Land while I talk with my mouth open, but okay. What I really, really like about this pizza, my favorite part is the tomatoes. So fresh, just like the last one, the basil. So fresh. And really do use whatever tomato you think is ripe, you think is great for you, because that is what's going to stand out in this pizza. We're going to finish eating this pizza, and when we come back, Tamara and Caroline are going to show me and you how to make a really great dessert pizza.